Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? A gracious good morning to you, good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. Updated my profile just a tainch, as my grandma used to say, just a little bit. And I'm going to resume where I left off in my previous message of transparency. And I've entitled this message, I Hurt Myself Today. And the reason I entitled it, I Hurt Myself, is because, seriously, y'all, grown folk, talking to grown folk. So if you want to fall under that category, that's category, folks. If you want to fall under that category, you have to take accountability. Grown folks don't blame folks. We say, I messed up. Okay? Now, there's a level of accountability if there's another party involved. But we say, I messed up. You know what? I have these readers on. That's why my eyes look magnified. Let me take these off. The other pair that I had on were my prescription glasses. You didn't log on for that. And I didn't say that word. Those of you who follow me know I have a penchant for saying, anywho, but I didn't say it this time. Fight it, fight it, fight it. Getting back to my point. Okay, so I said hours go by and this person who promised to call didn't call. Now, as I'm thinking about all this and putting this together this morning, I realized most of the interactions were generated by me. I just got tired of sitting in the house. I got tired of, there's just so much reading that a person can do before they need social interaction. And, there was an attraction. I have the receipts. Although, in the gaslighting, keep me attached, there was this push me, pull you kind of thing going on. And I know I kept extending the benefit of the doubt, even though the math was not mathing. I need to say that. And that was based on my, I want to say, emotional connection, mental connection, because this person, again, sounded deep. Yeah. Had some salient points at times. But the walk did not match the talk. And I've done some dumb things in regards to this individual, just based on trust. But that was early on, and thank God at that point, the trust was okay. So, person never called back. Just before I laid down for the night, now I'm irritated to the nth degree at this point, I call. The kid answers the phone. I say the kid because I don't want to disrespect the little person who was very young at the time and whom I really adored. I mean, really had a super close attachment. I said, Mommy says, doing yoga. And that was the end of it. So then finally I do make contact. And this individual says they don't owe me anything. So I let some time go by. Because now I'm red hot hopping bad. And all that I suspected, all that I know is staring me in my face. And, it was like I never existed. But they had the nerve to tell me, about this individual, and that they were talking to another individual on top of that, which the first individual knew nothing about. So the first individual finds out, and I suspect show the same level of anger that I did. So the person decided they were going to tell me about that instance. And I think the only reason that they told me about the instance is because the child made reference to it. And they were like, oh, I broke it off. So let me get this straight. You dogged me out. When I showed up and shined. That was okay with you. You didn't have enough time to really do damage to the other individual, because I suspect the other individual also, just based on the bits and pieces that I was able to put together, was also on your vein of thinking on, I'm just going to do this until, I don't want to anymore. Or I have no use for you. And then now there's some duality going on both sides. Right? So you tell me about that. I broke it off with them. Am I supposed to feel sorry for the person that you felt was good enough, beautiful enough, okay enough to dog me out for? Because I'm wondering why you're telling me this at this point. Because you didn't give a damn 5 minutes ago, basically. So I sat with that. Then they proceeded to tell me about the other individual who happened to be male, who happened to be also from the past. So what is it that you do? You just reach back into this closet and just grab your old toys to play with them for a little while and then just discard them again? I want no parts of that. And the amount of damage that this person did, I think we were connected for like 5 years. And it was not, like I said, there was no commitment. It was just an emotional connection. The occasional, I love you. Of course, they'll deny it if confronted. But again, I have receipts. I have all the receipts. And the reason I have the receipts is not like I was like, I'm going to show you. My phone is set up to just save my text messages. And I've never changed that feature. And that goes back to the point where I was deeply involved with an individual for 14 years. Considered us married. I think I'm in the process of decluttering, and that's why I'm sharing this. I'm in the process of decluttering, not only my physical possessions, but the things that I've held on to mentally and emotionally for a goodly number of years. Why am I putting this out there? I couldn't tell you. I thought about it. Thought about it the other day. You know, I periodically have flashes of, you know, what am I doing? You know, and I think that's where I am right now, because I've shared. It's like there's something that's just not sitting right in my spirit about, you know, my position in life. And I know we all have them, and I've had this experience a couple of times where I've just made some drastic changes. I did it when I went back to school. I did it when I changed jobs. And the last time I changed jobs, I worked at a particular place for 14 years as well. It's like I've been at this particular job for 10 years. You know, so every so often I have to do some self-examination. So my mental and emotional time clock is set in this particular pattern. And, you know, there was a book out a couple of years ago about the process of decluttering on the physical plane. And the author would say you go through all your things and you hold it up and ask yourself, does it bring me joy? And, you know, I'm at the position where I can say, at one point it did. But right now, as I make transition into, I want to say, being an official senior citizen, I can say, hell no. You know, or as the old saints used to say, get thee behind me. That's where I am right now. And I say that with a smile because that's what brings me joy.